a series where I play a game or video game demo, talk about some of my initial experiences, go over the pros and cons, and end everything off with a recommendation. Today I'm going to be talking about Enshrouded, a promising new survival game that may herald in the four horsemen of the gaming apocalypse. That's right, we're looking at survival, crafting, open world, and I'm pretty sure heading into early access soon. So if you like seeing content like this, or content on a wide variety of other gaming topics, then do be sure to get subscribed, leave a like while you're down there, and for now, let's dive right into Enshrouded. Alright, press play, character customization. I don't really care, so I'm going to go with the very first preset because I'm boring. I'm going to do everything default. Name, character 0, yes. To go with my boring default everything, I'm going to go with the default character name as well. So now I am playing as character 0. I'm waking up in a weird alien pod. Alrighty. Well, in good news, I'm sheltered, but I'm not comfortable or warm. If I go near a fire, will warmth increase? Not yet. All right, let's go out of a weird alien room. Cinder Vault. New location, marker added. Oh, now I'm warm. I'm gaining rested. Commune with the flame. So I need to claim a spot for my base, and the game's given me a recommendation. Press M to track things on the map. Yeah, I'll do that later. I wonder if there's fall damage. I'll find out later, with a slightly less precipitous drop. Wait, was that a health bar? That was a health bar. There was creatures down there. Can I punch stuff? I can. Perfect! Great for punching rocks. Oh, those are terrain. Great for punching other rocks. Oh, look, a handy-dandy treasure chest. And some loot. Some bandages. Open the chest. Take all that. Cool. I am now a torch wielder. I have become the flame. My guess is torches are consumable, which is probably why it has a health bar at the bottom. Oh! Things come directly from your torch and light lights. That's neat. Not sure I like that jumping animation, or more of falling animation. And you're not even falling with style. Okay, that is not a interactable or mineable thing. Alright, let's see if I take fall damage. Oh, I very much do take fall damage. That was a lot of fall damage. So I lock on to the zombie guy. Oh, man. Zombie guy got wrecked. Shroud spores and a rusty short sword. Cool. Oh, now I can block. All right. I'm still quite damaged. I should bandage myself. It was definitely my fault for just jumping down, but I needed to test if fall damage worked. Fall damage does work. If you fall, you'll rise again at your last return beacon. So if I just jumped off that cliff and fully YOLO'd it, I would have found out it's not actually a YOLO. Hey, there's a goat. Hey, goat. Hi, I'm tempted to... You know what? I'll leave the goat alone for now. Mushroom. Pick. Okay, so I can pick the mushrooms. I'm assuming I could also fight a rabbit. Is that a rabbit? Yeah, it's a weird rabbit, but it's a rabbit. Come back, rabbit. I only want to murder you a little bit, little rabbit. Oh, wait. Those are wolves. All right. The locking is really aggressive. Alright, made short work of those wolves. So it looks like a lot of the healing gives you health regeneration rather than an instant heal. And as I'm harvesting things, I'm unlocking recipes, which is really cool. Gives you a good sense of exploration. What is that? Hello? Buddy? You okay? Oh, you have a shield. Yeah, you're using your shield, are ya? Oh, is that a stamina bar? Right. With the power of button mashing, I have destroyed him. Oh, I wonder if I'd crouched, could I sneak up on them? Oh, it looks like I can. I'm coming for you, little bunny. Ha! Caught a wabbit. Ooh, that's pretty. Also looks spooky. What does the journal say? Claim a spot for your base. Show on map. Yeah, down here. Plains for first base. So that's going to be over this way. Which I think is in the nice big grassy area where I just was. Is that the case? Yes, that is the case. That is exactly the case. It's the nice big grassy area. With all the resources. But how do I claim a base? So, craft the flame altar. Got it. Flame altar. You can quickly navigate different categories by selecting the icons. Here you can find the materials. You can pin recipes. Got it. So I now have a flame altar. And if I put that down, like so, and commune with the flame, there are other survivors in the ancient vault. Find them to aid on your journey. Okay. Stay on the path. Salvation lies straight ahead. Okay. This is kind of cool as a gimmick. Smack, smack, smack. Cool. Restore time. Okay. So you have a limited amount of time in the shroud, but hourglasses restore it, so you can use them to explore further. I like that. And then the little fairy light kind of tells you which way to go. Like here, I'm supposed to go up and around. I'm pretty sure. But I've managed to stay on the path. Oh, jumping was not the right answer. Here, jumping's the answer. And I have escaped the shroud. Interact with campfires to cook food. Okay. Place food on your action bar and select it to press cook. Oh. Wait. That didn't work. Oh, hold to cook. Then release to finish. So I'm guessing... grilled lean meat. New areas to explore. New treasure chests to rob. Ooh, a health potion. So that's how you get the instant health. Oh, I see spooky guys. Hey. Hey, guys. Hello. You can just overwhelm them. Although, I'm going to run out of weapons soon. Going to need to make more. Oh. It's teaching me stealth. Oh, more of the alien pods. I don't think this guy's friendly. Ow. Nope. He's not friendly. Admittedly, I did hit him in the back several times with a sword. So maybe that's why. But I'm going to assume he was never going to be friendly to begin with. Oh. He saw me. Okay. Oh, ow, ow. Oh, that's a magic damage bonus. Okay. The torch does pretty decent damage to this guy. Oh, that is sudden. That is very sudden. All right, well, it's daytime now. Don't think that guy's going to be helping me. Just a little bit of an inkling. Ancient Vault of a Blacksmith. Ah. Oh, I should have been stealthier. It looks like I can do 2 hits. Oh. And dead. The blacksmith should be able to make me more weapons, which fixes a lot of my problems. Yes, Oswald Anders the blacksmith. Recipe unlocked, charcoal and charcoal kiln. Recipe unlocked, nails and 21 more. When you need to rest, you can fast travel back using M and like this. All right, and I'm going to put you right by the fire. Hi. Hey, buddy. Let's do that. Yes, talk and craft. Crafting first gear. I need a charcoal kiln and a forge. So I need way more stone. Got it. And then I'll be able to make a scrappy sword and valiant shield. And things like a felling axe to actually cut down trees. Got it. Haha, I punched the tree to death. I can now make very rudimentary weapons that are probably not very effective on trees. But now that I know it's possible, that's the important part. I now know it is possible to punch trees. This is, in fact, a survival game. I have plenty of those. I can even make a wooden club now for 11 blunt damage. That was very effective. The enemy does not seem to be aware of my existence. Oh, there it is. It's coming. And it's dead. Bows might be overpowered. Could be the start of my journey as a stealth archer in the old Skyrim tradition. One of the most overpowered builds in any game. As far as I can tell, food and hunger and water and all that kind of works like Valheim, where you can eat and get bonuses, but you don't have to eat. And if you don't eat, it's not the end of the world. Oh, who did I make friends with? Bye-bye. Down we go. Unless... Okay, this is definitely not intended. That was not intended, but you know what? It worked. I'm not going to question it. Oh, everything lit up. Ah, looks like a resource. That looks like the sort of rock that you punch. Also, these barrels are red. Does that mean they go boom? I think that means they go boom. Use terraforming tools or explosives to forge a path through the rubble. Explosive powder balls can be thrown. Barrels can be detonated at range. Oh! Okay. Is this how I get dirt? I seem to have blown up all the dirt. But I got a ring of mana. Wait, is the terrain destructible? Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Ooh. Oh, so I opened up the way. All right. Read. Careful with a shipment. Explosives explode. Yeah, who would have known? At least it gave me a lot of scrap and stuff. Ow. Wait, where are you shooting from? Oh, up there. And right there. Okay. I want to try the ice wand. Oh, this doesn't pause. This does not pause. That's good to know. Oh, that doesn't heal. That just increases max health. All right. What happens if I get him to go near the explosive barrel? Oh, it has a weird range. Okay. Oh, there's another guy. Okay. Hey there. Oh god, the attack range for this is abysmal. Wait, I can just point blank them? Okay. New plan. And I'm dead. I blame the weapon. Targeting was really weird there. And now, unfortunately, I have to run back. Looks like at least I keep my stuff, though. So this isn't the sort of game where your stuff just disappears when you die. That's good, at least. Oh, but all my materials disappeared. Okay. So I lose a lot of stuff, just not, like, the weapons. Oh, that's good to know. And lesson learned, don't use the weird shocking ice wand, because, oh man, that just doesn't work well. Maybe I should have changed it with right-click or something. That might have been the play. I don't know. And with that, I continued to play Enshrouded for a couple hours. At first, I'd definitely gotten sidetracked by the exploration, and exploration plus traversal is one of the most fun parts of a game. Shortly after I finished my first impressions recording, I discovered the grappling hook, which allows you to latch onto and swing up to all those grapple points that I'd discovered earlier. This makes the world open up in a lot of ways, and no, I don't just mean the janky jumping up cliffs that I'm not supposed to way. Which, in that regard, while the animations were janky, there didn't really seem to be a jump, you kind of just fell, and day and night just magically switched on and off like a light switch. It didn't feel bad to play. It looked a little weird for sure, but it felt good, and definitely credit where credit's due. I would rather a game feel good to play and look a little bit janky than look perfectly flawless and feel terrible. I also ended up crafting myself new weapons plus a full set of armor, which was quite easy. I also crafted an axe so that I didn't have to punch trees anymore, and a pickaxe so that I didn't have to punch rocks. The end result of which was I was able to get my jar of dirt without any issues. I also took some time to experiment with the game's building system and made myself a little house. I noticed here the placement points were a little bit janky, but if you're making something functional, like a square box that keeps the rain out, not that I saw very much rain, but something that would keep the rain out if there was rain, and also was heated by my magical fire, yeah, it was pretty darn easy. I even had a bed, and I noticed as I put more decorations in, the comfort level went up. So I'd guess you need an optimal amount of decorations before your character considers this home, which is, honestly, perfectly understandable. But eager to try out my new weapons, I went back into the shroud, since at that point I had a quest to clear a well. And overall this went pretty decently. I definitely tried my luck a little bit, didn't end up dying but came really close as I was defeating enemies on my way. The main reason I came so close to dying was I got really close to the time limit. I don't know what happens when you hit it, whether you take damage over time or you instantly turn into a monster, but I wasn't about to find out except maybe for science later. After that, I entered the well itself, which had a very long spiraling path down. So be careful if you do it for yourself to not get lost. Getting lost within the shroud is very dangerous. In the more open world areas, I don't think getting lost is too much of a concern, because I'm guessing you can always get outside the shroud then teleport home. In a dungeon or an instance zone like this, it's going to be a lot harder. Although, in that regard, I don't think it was actually a separate instance, which is pretty neat. Going on down, I fought a boss or mini-boss, and this was a pretty cool fight. While he was very powerful and hit scarily hard, I ended up being able to take him down relatively easily. Okay, I got hit a bit at the start, that was spooky, but after I got hit a couple times, I decided to stop playing around with my bow and just take out a sword and smack him. Well, it wasn't too bad actually, because most of his attacks were really nicely telegraphed, something that I noticed against the enemies earlier. If you're fighting a large group of enemies, it's pretty easy to get surrounded and overwhelmed, but in a one-on-one, they're nicely telegraphed, which should make it pretty darn easy to fight them. So with that in mind, I conquered the well, claimed my treasure, and went back to the surface. I also got an elixir, which increased my time in the shroud by 2 minutes. I'm not sure if this is a permanent increase or a temporary one. I wasn't paying too close attention when I used it, but I did use it and it seemed to help, so that's cool. At this point, I had a pretty good grasp of the basics, but I decided to continue with the quests for the tutorial and just see what else the game had to offer. There were of course more enemies to fight, more areas to explore, and some new crafting patterns. But additionally, there was a tower, and this was the first real dungeon that I had encountered. Sure, the well was sort of a mini dungeon, but it was very short and linear, whereas this was quite a bit longer and had some decent jumping puzzles, or at the very least, grappling hook puzzles, since I didn't do too much jumping to clear most of them. And I like this. There was enough difficulty there that I had to think about things for a second. I couldn't just keep going in a straight line and expect everything to fall over, but it was never confusing to the point where I was like, I really wish there was a guide, or irritating and frustrating. It was smooth, fun to explore, and I'd definitely do it again. Plus, once I got to the top of the tower, there was an incredible view of the surrounding landscape. Overall, I wouldn't say the textures used by the game are the highest definition, so if you look too closely, you can kind of see the rough edges. However, when you're viewing everything from a distance, honestly, it looks really good. And I'd rather a game look really good at a distance than waste a bunch of time and resources and people's processing power on their computer trying to make every detail pixel perfect. But now, let's get into some pros and cons for Enshrouded, since I'm sure a lot of people are very curious about this game. First up, the pros. I like there being a Valheim-style use of the food and water buffs. Instead of it being a punishment where you starve to death, your character fights better when you have proper buffs, but you don't absolutely need them. So if it falls off, yeah, you're going to want to eat something or go back to base. However, it isn't an instant game over, and you know what? If you're good enough at the game, you might be completely fine without a food buff, so you get to be lazy doing easy content. Also, to be honest, I'm not a huge survival game fan, but I do enjoy trying survival games when the title does something different. For Don't Starve Together, it was Clay's quirky characters and lovable art style. For V Rising, it was the Hunt at Night vampire theme, and while Valheim looks really cool, I actually haven't tried it yet, but if you want to see me play Valheim, let me know down in the comments, and it could very well happen in a future video. Something else that I really liked about V Rising was the MOBA-esque gameplay. And to be fair, Enshrouded isn't that much like Valheim, and it isn't that much like V Rising. But with the shroud, the weird mushroom creatures, and kind of the dual worlds, it does bring something interesting to the table. For example, can you somehow fit your home into an area surrounded by shrouds so other people and monsters can't find it? Or because you want to wake up to the monsters in your basement for free resource harvesting Minecraft style. Also, speaking of monsters, the combat felt really nice. Sure, it was simple, block, dodge, let the enemy get animation locked and kill them, or if they block you, just brute force and break their block, but it also felt very effective and functional. So I'd rather that than something overly fancy that ends up feeling clunky. And the tutorial does a really good job of introducing the basic core aspects of the game. But the only thing that was slightly confusing is when I was trying to make a forge, I did get a little bit fixated on it early on, and as a result, didn't make some tools maybe as early as I could have. I probably should have had an axe to cut down trees before I punched down 2 of them. But then again, everyone punches down a tree or 2 when playing a survival game, so it's not that big of a deal. And speaking of neat innovations, destructible terrain is also really cool. I like it. I quite like it, and I wonder what sort of interesting things players can do with that. For example, can you tunnel down into the ground, hollow out an area, and make your base underground, then, fill the entrance up in such a way that it looks like solid surface and you're just a mole person living in your mole city? I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, and maybe that's just way too much effort for anyone to do. But moving on to some of the cons. Building is a little bit janky. It's annoying to place stuff, and I'd love some sort of smart build option where you could place an outline. Like, let's say I wanted to place a floor with a bunch of tiles. I could place the 4 corners, then automatically fill in between them, and then automatically fill the space in between that. Or I could place a couple of walls and say, fill in between, and have it go automatically provided I had the materials. This would cut down on the boring grunt work part of it, and allow you more freedom in your designs. Also, while the game is quite nicely immersive, I found with a lack of a proper jump or fall animation, and the sudden day-night cycle does break the immersion a bit. This isn't my biggest complaint by any means, but hey, if I'm going to talk about the pros, I'm going to talk about the cons, I needed to bring this up. And to be fair, this is just a demo of a beta, these things could easily be addressed by release. Next up, building seems a little bit limited because it's only areas around your fire. Which I can kind of see why, because V Rising did the same thing, but it also feels like the PvE aspects of these games are getting limited by the potential PvP aspects on public servers. Obviously, if you can just drop buildings down anywhere, you build in someone else's base and it causes problems. But I'd really rather, especially if I'm playing in a private server or if I'm playing offline in a personal server, just let me build wherever I want without having to worry about stuff like that. Because usually when I play a survival game, I want to make a cliffside base, a cave base, a treehouse, or a lake house. All the weird stuff that you're probably not supposed to do, and it sort of feels like cheating, and in some cases, if you're supposed to be attacked, it does break game mechanics, but it's also really fun and cool to plan it out and build it. And I don't know if that's going to be possible with the limitations of a fire, though I didn't test what the upper limits are, so maybe my fire's just at the base of a cliff or embedded in the cliff, and I can build around it. I don't know. I'll have to experiment more if I play. Something else that annoyed me a little bit was the durability on my weapons eroded very quickly early on. Now, I later found out I could just repair them, but when I didn't know, I was kind of just throwing away weapons. This problem didn't persist for very long, but it wasn't the best starting experience. And last up, based on discussions I've seen on the Steam forums, there was quite a bit of griefing in public servers. Personally, I prefer playing solo or with friends, but if you're just getting into the game, honestly, I'd be careful on a public server. At the very least, go into it expecting it to be griefed. Again, I kind of don't like the fact that a lot of these survival games focus a bit too much on the PvP aspects or enabling them to the detriment of the PvE aspects. Sure, I know a lot of people enjoy it, but I feel like there should kind of be separate balances or servers where if you're playing on a PvP-enabled server, there's certain things for PvP, and for everyone else, there's just a nice, enjoyable PvE experience. Which, to be fair, for the most part, Enshrouded is a nice, enjoyable PvE experience when you're playing solo or with a group of friends who, might get into some fights. You might go over to your friend's base and murder them in their sleep, but it's all in good fun and you'll give them their stuff back afterwards. And so, Enshrouded is a survival, crafting, open world game soon to enter early access. We have the four horsemen of the gaming apocalypse. If you're big into survival games, I think this is definitely one to check out, as I expect it's going to be huge. But if you're not big into survival games, I'd say play with friends. If you have a bunch of friends who want to get into it when it comes out, absolutely give it a shot. But if you're just going to be playing solo, personally, I don't think it brings that much new to the table from a solo experience, certainly not in the way that Valheim did. So personally, I'm going to wait and see if some friends want to play on release. If they do, there's a good chance I'll be playing it. And if they don't, there's a good chance I'll be giving it a pass until some friends are like, hey, heard of that Enshrouded game? Want to play it? In which case, I'll probably check it out. But I'm curious, what do you think? Are you going to be playing Enshrouded on release? Are you a big fan of survival games? If so, what are some of your favorite survival titles? Personally, I prefer survivor games to survival games, such as Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, which you can check out my first impressions of up in the card and down below. But if you want to know my thoughts on another survival game, The Rising from right after it came out, then I'll link to my review also up in the card and down below. With that said, thanks for watching, and a special thanks to my patrons and channel members for the continued support. For as low as $1 a month, you can help make videos just like this possible, and for $5 a month, you can see your name on screen, just like these fine folks here. With that said, thanks for watching, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you again sometime soon.